Hello, everyone, and welcome, welcome, welcome once again. So, today is another exciting start of November for all of us here. So, at Masterpiece, we always come together on Saturdays and we bring people from all around the world to talk about issues and things that concern us in our day to day and our work, and just to come alongside and learn from each other. And that is something so, so important. So I am so thankful that you get to be part of it today. But I want you to do something for the next 10 seconds. I want you to share the link. If you're on Facebook, if you're on YouTube, share the link with someone else. Let them know that we are live and that they can be part of today's conversation. By the way, my name is Tina, and I am excited to be your host for today. So, as we do it here, it's always a time to learn something, to share our experiences, to encourage each other on our walk. And this month, we are focusing on being thankful. But how can you be thankful when in your own life, as you're going through your journey, you feel like you're not worth anything? You cannot really have that attitude of gratitude. So, we're kicking off this month with a conversation about knowing who you are, knowing your worth. That way you can be thankful not just for others, but also for you, for where you are today and where you are going. And we are excited to have an amazing woman of God who has walked her journey, is keeping on walking, and then wants to share her experience and the things that she's learned alongside with us. And so I want you to, again, share with someone, tell someone we are live today, a masterpiece conversation, and they can join. And let's get started. And when you join, tell us where you're joining from. Are you joining from Accra, Ghana? Are you joining from the USA? Are you joining from the UK? Wherever you're joining, just say hello so we can acknowledge you that way, because we believe that together we are better. All right, let's welcome. Are you ready? If you're on there, I want you to give me some help to welcome this amazing lady who's taking time out of her day in a different time zone to join us today. Lady Reverend Caroline Fabian. Give me some hearts, give me some love, and let's welcome her. All right. Hello, Lady Reverend.
Hello.
It's good to see you.
I'm very happy to be here. Yes.
Wow, we have
Good
patients
to
joining us all the way
see
from
you.
Guinea. Wow.
Wow.
And then
Patience,
everyone
how are you?
all the way from Guinea. Well, we're
Yeah.
excited to have you. And like we said, it's such a blessing that you would take time out of your day to be part of what this conversation. But just by way of introduction, I will introduce you and then I'll ask you to introduce yourself because I always don't get it right. It looks like that's the normal thing. But for those of you joining, Lady Reverend is, a mother of two. She is a trained architect by profession, and she also is a pastor and a missionary wife who has been to places like Nigeria, Sierra Leone, and Obuasi, and now is in Kumasi, Ghana. So for those of you in Ghana, you have to give me some hearts, you know. And hi, Gloria, I see you from the UK. And then she also is the CEO of two companies. I want to share that with you as well. One is Beats and Peaches, which is more of a cake designing type of product. And then the other one is Agro Essentials, which we'll focus some time talking about today. So you want to be part of it because a lot of you here are missionary minded or thinking about, missions and doing things for God. But it's also part of knowing who you are. So wherever you are, you can bring your best to that place. All right. So she's a CEO. I'm excited to have another CEO and, you know, amazing lady with us. And thank you to Lady Abba Keita Anda for making this
Hey, Abba.
Jen. And for those of you who haven't gotten your book yet, so I still have the book. I just got mine this week, and it's Letters of Hope to My Younger Self. Okay, and we'll talk about that at the end of this conversation. But welcome, Lady Reverend. I think that I tried. Hi, Dr. Vivian. I tried, but I want you to also introduce yourself because I missed some of it, and I'm sure you can add some color to what I did. So, in her own words.
I think that you've done a very good job. I think you are on point. Like you
Mhm.
said, I'm a trained architect and
Mm.
I'm also a pastor. And
Yeah,
I'm also a missionary wife.
yeah.
So right now I'm on missions and I'm based in Kumasi now.
Wow.
And I have two children. Um, One has finished uni and has started working, and then the little one is finishing her A level to do medicine as well.
Wow, amazing, amazing. So, Lady Reverend, I am excited to hear your story. Like, it's amazing to hear the fact that you're a trained architect, and then you're also a pastor, and then you're a CEO. I'm like, okay, this lady is going places, right? So, we are watching you, and we're like, okay, we're talking about self worth. You must have a lot of it. Like, you must have it so easy, maybe come to you easy, but for a lot of people, it takes a lot for us to really believe in what we have and what we've been given. So when you hear about, your self-worth and knowing who you are and understanding the gifts that you bring to the table, how has been your experience? What do you think about that?
Well, I didn't start that way. I mean, I think that God has taken me through a lot. It's been a long journey for me to know that I'm also worthy and I'm valuable.
Mm,
And I mean, in the beginning, I can remember when I was in primary school, I didn't have a very good foundation because my mother was moving from one place to the other. When I say that, she was in Kumasi and then she moved to Accra. And so I had to change schools and all that. And so I wasn't doing well at all. But one day when I was in class 6, I told myself, no, when I speak with my friends, I believe I'm that sensible. I mean, it's not that I'm daft. I
oh,
must do something about it. And so since then, I decided that I was going to learn more. All the things that I needed to catch up, I had to do because actually I was getting zeros. I mean, I was always getting zero, always at the bottom. But I started learning my times tables, learning all the things that I knew that I didn't know. I just sat down and said, no, if I do something about it, something good will come out of it. And can you believe that the next term I was, when it comes to, I was among the first 3 top positions. I was very surprised. And so because of that, I kept learning better and better. And I realized that if I put my hands on something and I am determined, I will do well. And
wow.
since then, it's been a journey, but I believe that God has been helping me. So
Mm,
it's not that I just this. I know some people, um, because of their parents, they've been trained to believe in themselves and all that. But I didn't have that kind of thing. I was, a mess. But I started getting better.
amazing. In fact, if you hadn't shared it, I wouldn't believe it. Like,
You know?
I we are looking at you today and it feels like you just arrived. Like
No, I
you
didn't.
just got here, and you even to even know at a point have that epiphany and say that, you know what, I think I am better. I think I have something. I think I can do this. And a lot of people just wallow in that place of, whatever situation we are in, we feel stuck. We cannot do anything, or there's no way out. Have you felt that way before? Like where you have been in places where it's like there's no way out. Like I'm just
Yes.
done.
Yeah, there have been times like that. Yeah, life is like that. You go up, and then certain things hit you, and then you go down, and that sort of thing. So, I mean, when I was in the university, it was the same thing. It's like you have to psych yourself. You have
Mm,
to speak to yourself. You have to believe in yourself because we are the image of God. God
mm,
doesn't do things which are not perfect. I mean, He does things which are perfect, and He created us in His image. And so we must believe in ourselves. If you don't do that and you're expecting people to tell you something before you believe in yourself, then you're going to have a very long journey coming up. You have to do your work yourself. You have to believe yourself before other people will believe you. So if you don't believe yourself, then you are not going anywhere.
you have to believe, and I'm just, sharing that you have to believe yourself first, right? Before someone else is gonna, believe. It's like Abba said it, speak to yourself, right? Like
Yeah.
letters of hope to my younger self. Like say that thing to yourself, to your younger self, to yourself, and tell yourself you are able to do it. A lot of us want others to do it for us. But I realize that your self worth is more of your work that you do with yourself. Is that correct? You have to work on it. It's not coming from a spouse. And some of us also think it will come from the situation. Oh, if I marry, then I'll feel like I'm worthy. If I have children. And a lot of us are also trained up that way in environments that defined us by the different things we have versus who we truly are. How do we manage that?
Well, you like you said, we sometimes we really want people to acknowledge us. It's like sometimes maybe when you are a wife and you are in the house and it's like everybody's busy, your plate is full, but more is demanded from you. You can be tempted to think that, you people, don't you know that I'm also a human being
Mm.
and blah, blah, blah. You go about ranting and all that. But hey, everybody is thinking about him or himself, you see. So if you don't do your homework and you're expecting people to understand you, when you yourself, you don't understand yourself, you're not getting anywhere.
Yeah, you're not getting anywhere. When you having taken the time to do your homework, to know your self-worth, like this is who I am, this is what I can do. Have you been at that point where you've taken inventory of even your skills and your abilities, the things that come to you easily? you know and a lot of us don't take that time, so it's easy for us to believe that we don't have anything. It's like we have zero talent, and that's not true. I feel like everybody has something. So let's talk about that, taking inventory, because you're a trained architect. I don't know how you did it, but you did it, right? And then, because I cannot draw to save my life or anything. You're a trained architect, and then you're a pastor, then you're a missionary wife. Were these all things that you just fell into and it was just easy? Like, let's talk about even missionary wife, because I know it's not that easy to just go from different places, different countries, like to Nigeria, to Sierra Leone, back to Ghana. How has it really been? How have you still found your worth in strange lands and different places and still keep your joy and gratitude?
I think that even when you read some of the people in the Bible who have shown themselves to be worthy, I think that it's a step by step thing.
Hmm.
If you look at Joseph, he just didn't jump into his high office. He went through things. And God takes you through things to prepare you for major events. For
Mm.
example, David. I think that I don't, if I were a shepherd boy, and I wouldn't see myself as somebody who is valuable, but he had a way of believing God and taking one step after the other, fighting bears, lions, and all that. And then also he sees Goliath and he uses his past experience to be able to conquer this or beat or kill this warrior. What I'm trying to say is that sometimes when we look at people, we just see the end product and we
Mm.
believe that this is something easy and, but it's a step by step thing. God will move you to do this, and then he will move you to do this. So, for example, when I was on missions, one of the places that I went to, um, this place was it was a war torn area, and in terms of education, things were going down. So I got there very excited, thinking that, oh, I'm going to join the architects, help build that nation. I had high hopes. And one day I just Googled to see if I could see all the architects who were of good standing. Can you believe that the last person was around 66
Uh,
years old? you know, and that was because of the situation there. And those days, I think I was in my early 50s. It was like I thought I was going to meet young people, mix with them. It wasn't so. I remember when my puppy wasn't feeling well, and I said, okay, let's get a vet. When I got there, they told us that the vet is now retired. And I said, isn't there any other vet around? They said, no, he's the only one. So it was the gatesmen and all these people who were now doing the work. So the situation was so bad. I said, no, I don't think I'll be able to use my profession here
mm.
because I can't see anyone around to even coach me as to this country, what you have to do, blah, 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 and all that. So I said, okay, why don't I do this baking that I do as a hobby? And so I started baking cakes. And when my daughter goes to school, I tell her, you have to advertise for me, okay? And things like that. And this was how it started. In the beginning, it wasn't easy. You see, I'll make a cake and the cake is wonky. It's turned a certain way, because it's been a long time since I made such commercial cakes.
Right.
And my family, they were patient with me. I remember one day I frosted my cake, went in. By the time I came back, everything was flat down, you know. And sometimes they try to be patient with me, but they say, "Mommy, you have to do better," and things like that. But it wasn't easy. So I think that um, there are stages in life.
Mm.
Anytime you get to a certain junction, find out what you can do. Don't just sit down and be praying, but you don't do anything. So sit down, analyze the situation, and see what you can bring to the table. So these are some of the challenges that I went through in one of the countries.
Amazing. I'm just thinking about it like wherever you are, like you said, every stage in life, there is always a reason. There's something that you can find to do. And a lot of us get stuck because we've come to different places in life. Either we've traveled abroad, for those of us here in the US, we are here, and sometimes you have to start all over, like really start all over. And it's painful and all that, but how to get there and not believe that you don't have what it takes is so important. And to start anyway, just start anyway, you know, even if it is not perfect, like starting the baking, you know, place from, starting your baking and then saying, yes, it may not be perfect, but I'm ready to work at it for it to get to perfection. Has it taken hard work? Has it taken a lot of effort? Or is
Yes,
it because you have a supportive family? That's why you have been successful.
it has taken hard work, diligence, and not giving up.
Mm,
You know, like I said, there are times um, nobody, there are times when people are not interested in buying cakes. I mean, if you look at the economy and all that, they will prefer baking their own thing and all that. So
right.
it took hard work. Sometimes someone will order something and then not pay, or decide to cancel the order. Meanwhile, you are about halfway through and things like that. But I decided that no, I'm not just going to sit down and not do anything. I'm just going to keep on, because sometimes when you're not doing anything, depression can set in. You
Yes.
have to do something so that mentally you can also be happy. So um, I was very forceful. I never gave up. I cry sometimes when I see that what I've done is not perfect and all that, and then pick up my baking tools and continue. And also, if you are a proud person, I don't think that you'll be able to survive. I started, I remember there was a young lady I made friends with in Ghana. She's called Stacy. And, when I was doing architecture, we had one a year out, and we were supposed to be attached to offices. So what I was doing was that after 5 o'clock, I wear my white coat as a baker, and then I go for I was doing a course for that because I had a passion for it. But that was many years ago. So when I realized that I had to start these things again, I couldn't use the old fashioned things to do what the new people or the young people were doing. So I had to make friends with young people. What's new now? How do you do this? How do you create this? And most of the time when you watch things on the internet, it's helpful, but sometimes the things that they use, the country or where you are, you may not be able to use those things. So I started making friends with Nigerians, made friends with Ghanaians, local people. How do you do this? Because I don't have this ingredient, I don't have this. And then they show you this, you learn from here, you learn from there. So if you are a proud person and you don't want to learn anything, you not go far.
Wow. That is so, so interesting because just the ability to learn, that is sometimes one of our main hindrances from being able to realize our self worth. Just learn. You maybe have the skill, but just learning a little bit more to make it great can just, add value, so much value. But I want to go back to something you said, like baking a cake, the person is not showing up, is canceling on you, and you are here, you're a pastor, you're a pastor's wife. How do you balance the ministry and all these other things? How do you do it? Like, and not chase people out of the place. Like,
you know, you reminded me, it's not good to mix business with church, that kind of thing. They all see you as Osofumame is like you
yeah,
are the mother of the church. So there are times where when you bake, it's like, oh, mommy, this is free. Oh, you're doing something for that kind of
yeah,
thing.
yeah.
So it's a kind of dicey situation when you start doing business as a missionary wife with your
Mm.
church members. From outsiders, it's okay. But when it comes to them, it's like mommy's food. We just have to eat it, you know. But there's you need to balance it. And I came a long way because this was something like a hobby for me. You know, when you have something that you do as a hobby, and then now you want to turn it into a business, if you don't take care, you will not make money. In the beginning, I was doing that, you know, if I charge somebody, let's say $100, and I want the thing to look very nice. So I buy things, and sometimes you realize that I'll spend
Right.
$150 instead of the
Right.
100. But I just, and then my children will say, "Why are you doing that?" So I want to take nice pictures. I say, this is not business, you know. So I have to learn how to be a businesswoman and distinguish between doing something as a hobby and then also doing something as a business. So these are some of the things that I went through. And then, of course, there are times when you, that maybe you have a church function you have to attend, but also you have a wedding cake order. Like today, we had a camp, all the pastors and our church members were there. I had to shuttle in, I had to ask permission from yours truly, my husband. There are times when he will frown a little bit because I have to dash back, come and make sure that my cake, I've mounted it well, how I'm going to set it up and all that, and then rush back to church again because today is Saturday and every baker on Saturday is very busy. But I had to learn to combine. So sometimes I need to delegate some of the things that I realize that people can do. I make them do it. Then the things which I feel I'm the only person who can do it well, I do those things. If you don't do that, you will not get anywhere. I also, one of the things that I also did, um, I learned from those who were ahead of me, who are ahead of me. For example, my bishop, and then also my bishop's wife. I learned how is she able to cope. There are times I have challenges. I call her, I speak to her. She tells me, "You do it this way, do it that way," you know, because there are times when you are in a situation where your friends may not be able to give you that advice because they are not in your position. Most of my friends may, some of my friends may not be missionary wives. So they may not understand what I'm going through. So you need to get the right person or the right people to talk to so that they give you the right advice.
Oh, I was writing the wisdom tips down because he said a lot of wisdom tips that a lot of
Wow.
women need to know, like balancing ministry, and even if it's not work, and even your life, your family life, and all that. Like delegate, have mentors. Abba is saying, so I think Abba is writing, so I'm not going to keep writing. Have mentors who have gone ahead of you. They understand what you're going through, and don't be shy because some of us are also come to the point where we don't want anyone to know our issue, you know, and we don't want to share with anybody. So we suffer alone and we know
Yeah,
that we are
it's like,
struggling and our dream
yeah.
is still not baked and it's not fully done. How do you manage that?
Oh, well, I have learned that if you sit down and you don't ask questions, you just be there and be making your own mistakes, and everybody sees you smiling and all that, and may not know what you are going through. I remember when I was in my 40s, I realized that now going to the kitchen was a chore. I didn't like going to the kitchen to cook and all that. One day I called my bishop's wife and I said, Auntie Wame, it's not that you know me. I like cooking. I enjoy cooking and all that. But nowadays, it's a headache. I don't enjoy doing it. What's wrong with me? And I remember what she said. She said, have you noticed that our mothers, when they reach a certain stage, they don't cook anymore. They sit down on a chair, a stool, and then they order, bring this, cut it up, do this, do that. And so it is just normal, but you just have to have people to help you if you can. But don't be surprised if you don't want to do it. And that made me, calm down a bit because I didn't know what I was going through. So, like I said, if you don't ask questions, you're not going to get anywhere.
Dr. V is saying that she doesn't like cooking these days. So, Dr. V, you need help then. You need to find some help. We're getting you a chef, I think. That's what you need. Abba feels the same way. So I think we all need some help
Yeah,
in this area.
yes,
No, but these are great tips. These are really great tips. Like for balancing even life in general, delegation, making sure that you are, asking questions, you're seeking out mentors that will help you in the things that you are struggling with, the things that you are facing. I think these are so important. I call them wisdom tips because sometimes we have the goals and the dreams and everything, but we don't use wisdom, and then it backfires, and then it looks like now we are stuck, we feel worthless, we feel like, and is it okay if we can do the things, but we can do it maybe a little at a time? For instance, you may not be able to take a whole day off on Saturday to do all the catering, so you may just have to do one cake, whereas you would want to do like four or maybe five. Is that okay as well? Can we feel some like comfortable at that level and say, at least my dream is going. I'm doing something.
yes. I mean, do what you can do. Yesterday I was preparing for this wedding cake, and then I got a call around 4 p.m. Someone who wanted to have a wedding cake this morning, 12, you know, and she wanted something like a two-tier cake. Now my mind was racing, in this economy, if you have something like this, what do you do? Do you let it go by? So I decided that why don't I get somebody to help me and then pays the person some of the money instead of letting it go. So we really need wisdom
Yeah.
because money passes by sometimes and we are not ready to lay hold of it because we haven't planned for it. We are always saying, God bless me, God bless me. But if He's blessing you, are you ready? Because I remember I used to pray, Father, let me have many wedding cakes per week and all that. Are you ready for it?
Yeah.
Are you really ready? You know, so if you don't prepare for it, if you don't think about it, for example, you ask yourself, in case I get a scenario like this, what do I do? You'll be overwhelmed. So you need to put things in place. In case I get too many orders, what do I do? How do I go about it? Because you say you want blessings, right? So these are some of the things that can happen. So you need to plan and get ready for it. You don't wait till things happen before you start thinking.
Hmm.
If you do that, people will not even see you as a good professional person. It's like you are confused, you don't know what you're about and all that. So let all the things that we wish would happen to us. You want to have a factory, start thinking about it. How are you going to apportion your time with your family and then as well as this? Are you going to employ people? Are you going to work from the house? You have to think about all these things before the journey starts.
Amazing. So you've dropped another one, which is, the planning, which a lot of
Yes,
us don't like doing. We don't
yes,
plan, we don't ask, we don't take the time to plan, and because of that we end up at times, like you said, opportunity presents itself and just passes us by because we are not planning for it. We're just praying about it but not planning for it, and that
yes.
is so 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 important. I mean, I love it. I'm going to switch gears on you because I don't know how you do. Okay, we talked about the train architects. That one you're not using it too much, right? But you're using that too.
I use both. I do that when the opportunity is there. I use that. And then, like I said, most of them are family friends and not, oh, can you draw something for me? Can you inspect this and that? Like I said, if you don't know how to do business very well, your family members or your friends are going to take you for granted. So I combine all of them.
Wow. So then, Lady Reverend, you have another product line, which is the hair care one. And so
Yes.
you have to, I mean, you have to teach us because this is getting interesting. Like a lot of us have these great ideas and we never take it anyway. So how did you even get into that health care, the hair care one? How did you start that?
Well, I came, it was by accident, I should say.
Hmm.
What happened was that when I was in one of the countries, I noticed that they didn't have good hair products.
Hmm.
And I like my hair very much. So it took a long time for me to order something from Ghana to come to that country. So I asked myself one day, what are some of the local things I can use? And I started going into palm kernel oil, coconut oil, those things. And when I touched my hair, I said, this thing is good, you know. And then I started growing herbs like oregano, parsley, and all that. I brew them as tea. My mom will always say that your hair is full, full. You feed your hair. So I was just trying these things, adding honey and all that, you know. And by the third year, I realized that no, I must be doing something right. And
Hmm.
I have two girls. So we all have hair, you know. So if you buy a bottle of shampoo, within a month, everything is finished. And getting them from Ghana was not easy. You know, sometimes you have to wait for about 4 months to get your consignments and all that. So I said, I have to do something about it. So I was doing those things. But because I wasn't using preservatives, I would freeze the things and then use them. But when I came to Kumasi, I remember one day I went to the market. There's a lady there that sometimes I'll make her just pat my hair so that I could do my braids myself. But when I got there and she pulled my hair, some market women were passing and said, "Hey, young lady, what have you been using for your hair?" Oh, I just told them I use this, but I freeze them. Oh, we want some, we want to buy some. When can I get some? When can we get some? And all that. So I said, okay, next week I'll make some and then give them. But you know, if you put it on the shelf and you don't freeze it, they will get so we just like it. You just do it. So I just did a few, and when I got to the key people, they had also called other people to come and buy what I was. And I was overwhelmed because I just took about five and I had ten ladies who wanted some, you know. So I started doing these things. But my problem was that some students couldn't use my products. They were the people who normally follow me and say, Lady Reverend, we like your hair, how, you know, because they are in school. Some of them don't have freezers and all that. So I said, I need to do something that can make this thing have a longer shelf life. So I started seeing formulators, asking them questions. And I had a very good lady, she's called Eunice, and she's been a great help. She helped me. I had to go back learning chemistry, you know, buying pH meters, and so many things. My first product I did, she asked me, "Are you sure you've not done this before?" I said, "No, I just bake, you know, and this is mixing, you know, but I learned it in the baking. You know, if you don't mix the products well, they'll coagulate and all that." But I realized that that was helping me, you know, so I started doing these things. And then now my products, I don't need to freeze them. Although I have clients who want the frozen ones, I send them to Canada and all that. But I now have the products. It can just be like the normal products, normal shampoo, and all that. So this is how it started, and
Amazing.
moving forward.
Amazing. You had to learn chemistry all over.
Yes, and chemistry was something I never liked. So I was very surprised. And there were times when I would call people and ask, how do you use a pH meter? I've forgotten how to use it. How do you use a pipette? And I wasn't shy. And it was like, are you not an architect? I said, yes, but I'm interested. Can you show me? I bring them to the house. They teach me how to do it. So, oh, okay, this is how we were doing it in school, So this is how it's been so far.
And taking that transferable skills, like Abba is saying, from
Yeah,
baking and then adding it to, something else. No,
yeah.
there is.
For example, with my cakes like this, I remember I did a 9-tier cake for somebody in Obuasi. And I didn't have the opportunity to learn when I was learning cake and baking how to do something like a 9-tier cake. So I said, okay, let me draw it as a plan. So, because as an architect, you start with a drawing. So I did it. I put in reinforcement on the paper. And I said, so this is how I want to reinforce it. So I called a structural engineer that I always talk to. He's called Emmanuel, and he gave me one or two tips, and we will argue and say, no, this will make it topple down. But we just went back and forth, and then I did my final drawing, and I was able to do it. So what I am trying to say is that no matter what situation in which you are in,
Mm.
God has equipped you. I used architecture, but somebody else may use maybe chemistry, may use maybe she's a seamstress, may use that to do the cake. Whatever you are equipped with, you can use it to survive.
Amazing. You see, we have so much deposited with us, so much given to us that sometimes when we really say that, everybody's calling you the cake architect.
Oh
So
my, I've been modeling with her. When we were in secondary school, we were modeling our hair in my mother's salon. I remember that.
really, you know, but just coming to that full place where you can see that you have other skills that you can use at this time. I think that is so important, that you don't feel like you're so stuck, you can't do anything, you don't have anything. And I always say to people, when you say you don't have anything, that's not true, because you have something. You just haven't taken the time to take stock of it and see, at this point in my life, at this juncture, what can I use? Because you will always have something to use. And Lady Reverend, you really brought it to life. Do you have any of your products available, like the hair products? Because I am interested,
Oh,
so we can see. And how do we order it if we want to get a cup, some of them?
okay. If as for ordering outside, what happens is that people, maybe if your friend is coming, I've not gotten into selling them through Amazon and all those things yet. So when I talk about Canada, Guinea, and all those things, these are people that when they hear that someone is coming,
Okay.
they buy those products, because when you send it through DHL, it makes it a little bit expensive. So I'm yet to explore to find out how best we can go overseas like that in a cheaper
Mm.
way. But in Ghana, it goes everywhere. You just call us and then we send it to you within 24 hours at your doorstep, but at a fee.
Mm.
So
Wow.
I have this, it's called mango sorbet. And I do food, so obviously I'll name it.
It's
And
a
it smells like,
combination.
yes, it has mango butter and all that, honey in it. So when you put it in your hair, it's a hair dress. When you put it in your hair, it makes it soft and manageable, and you are able to sleek it down. You understand
Hey.
what I'm trying to say. We have this is called the Nubian Deep. This is a deep conditioner. It makes your hair shine. You'll be able to comb your hair when you wash your hair. And then also it restores back all the moisture that has been taken away from the shampoo. I've made a lovely shampoo here. It's very gentle on the hair. Whether you've permed your hair or it's 4C, 3C, or whatever, you can still use it. And it will not strip your hair. It's very gentle. It doesn't have salt and silicones and all that. And like I said, I have oils. Oils have been my biggest breakthrough. And this is one of them. It's Haggai's secrets. Haggai was the eunuch that held Esther to,
Ah,
so that's how I got the name. I also have oil of Hadassah there. This is made of local oils, 5 powerful local oils like neem and baobab, so it's very powerful and it has Ayurvedic herbs like oregano. I grow them behind and I add them moringa and all that. So
oh,
this helps in it prevents your hair getting bald and all that. As you are growing, sometimes you don't know that you are having bald patches. I always say that hairdressers may not tell you because they feel it's part and parcel of your age, or maybe you will panic and all that. So all you see is that you have a big patch somewhere. But it was one of my children who told me, Mom, you are getting something over there. And, I realized that this really helped me. As I combined them, all those patches filled up, and then all these traction, alopecia, and all that from bad habits, wearing too much wig, pulling your hair back, and making it too tight, and all that. So
wow.
this is one of the good oils I have.
So, Lady Baby, I think I have to order mine because I need to see, I need to have it, feel it. Like I have Abba's book here, you see. Like
You
now I
see,
have Abba's book and I can say I have a book. I need a copy. I need my packet of, you know,
I'm
uh,
going to look out for anybody who is coming over, and I'm going to send yours as soon as possible.
yes, I'm going to work on it.
Yes. And if you hear someone also coming, let me know so that I make yours ready for you.
Okay, I'm excited already. But if you are listening, you're joining, thank you. I see I'm not saying that. KK is saying that this is Garden of Eden in a bottle.
No, I mean, men also need it, It's very important because they also have their kind of boldness. And nowadays, you can have someone who is 20 years, 25, and all is gone. Don't wait till it gets too late. There's a stage at which you can't do anything about it. So you just put it in your hair and it helps. Don't tell this to my husband, but he puts these things in his hair because it's just available. And he's always complaining, why is my hair going like that? I always have to see the barber. And I tell the children, don't tell him, don't say anything, because why do we do products and then we have to buy some for him? You should just use it and cut his hair.
I'm sure he'll
Don't
be
tell
happy.
him.
No, but I think that it's a great, I mean, not just the fact that you can even translate some of the skills and do other things, but even the humility to learn and reinvent yourself. And it's amazing. Well, Abba needs the prices. I think for those of us in the diaspora, we need a packet. You can't just get one or two. You should have the conditioner, shampoo, and the oils. A lot of us, front hair is going away. So
Yeah.
we need the packet. So what is the price on that so that people know, and maybe we'll ask shipping, but that's another conversation. But
For now, the whole packet is about 500 CDs. I have different sets. I have Ajele sets. I have Amele set. There are different names. So sometimes some people don't want the whole set. So maybe they just want the shampoo. So the shampoo and the conditioner. Or some people just want the oils. So I have combinations. So it makes it easy for you to buy it. Maybe you just have braids, you want to maintain it. So I have that, that's called the Abna set. Just the conditioner, So you spray it in your hair and then you apply your oil. And you shouldn't just braid your hair the whole 3 months or 2 months and you are not doing anything to your hair. Hallelujah. I'm speaking to some people. You see that your hair will grow all right, but it will break. You see, your hair is like a plant. You must water it, you must nurture it so that it grows well.
Okay, so Lady Rebel, I think at this point we have changed. I mean, we'll wear some of the wigs, but we'll also change and then work on our natural hair with these products. So if
No,
if
wearing
you're
wigs is
interested,
okay, but you have to protect it well, or else, especially your front line, it can, become very weak. So just maintain your hair well under the wig, because some they just put the wig on, and you don't think about the hair, what is under. It's not good. So
yeah,
treat it well.
we have changed. So
Yes.
500 Ghana, I don't know how much it is in USD, but we'll have to find out. Okay. But
Yes.
if you have someone going to Ghana, I'm getting an echo, but bear with me. If you have someone going to Ghana or coming back where you can actually order it, whoever what's the number to reach out to you or to your
My
team?
number is 0244
Mhm.
870143.
So 0244.
870143. So if you're outside, you can just
I
give
don't know.
me a WhatsApp call, and you can also.
All right. So I am adding it to the chat so you have it. And let's reach out. It's 0244
870 143.
143
Yes.
870. I don't know if I'm typing it well. 0244
870143.
143. Got it.
0244. Yes. You are getting me confused.
It's because I am trying to figure it out myself. But that is the number to call. And if it's wrong, I will update you as soon as I get off. But at least you have the number. Let's call, let's place an order, and then let's also encourage what God is giving Lady Reverend and she's doing. But above all, I hope you've taken out some of the nuggets that she shared with us today, like balancing life, balancing ministry, coming up with things at different points in life, and making sure that you are not feeling so stuck that you get into depression and you are just thinking that there's nothing good coming out of your life. Remember, for those of us here in the US, this month we are celebrating Thanksgiving. So we want to cultivate that, attitude of gratitude and just make sure that we are thankful for where we are. We may not be there, but we are on our way there. Okay. And for some of us, this has been a good conversation to go back and look at some of the things you do easily that you don't think is anything, but it's actually something that if you can put a little bit more effort in, could be something beautiful, right? So thank you so much, Lady Ren. We are up at the top of the hour, and I want you to give us a few, thoughts as we leave, and we are going back to think about. Okay, so we are going to order the hair products. We cannot order a cake, but if you're in Ghana, go buy a cake and eat a cake, But that way, what are some of the things you want us to go back and think about and remember in this journey of life as we keep going every day, knowing that we are worth every bit of love and grace every day?
And what I would like to say is that you are very valuable, and God gave you many gifts. I noticed that as you step into one, it leads you into another one. You may realize that you may not know that you are gifted in something like this, but as you move into another one, and another one is exposed, and that kind of thing. So I want to encourage everybody, whatever you are doing, just do it well. And don't compare yourself with anybody. You are different from everyone. Just be yourself, be happy with the things that make you happy to do, and then do it your way so that it comes out unique. Don't say someone does it this way, so I'm going to do it this way. Meanwhile, it doesn't help you, or it doesn't conform with your lifestyle. So just close your ears, listen to God, listen to yourself. What can I do that can make me different and unique, that can help society? And I believe that as you keep going on, you will be surprised. People will be willing to help you and all that. Nowadays, when people see me, oh, you are talented. Look, I never knew that I was talented. I never knew that I had talents. There were times I'll tell my husband, oh, you are so talented. And then you say you are. And I say, okay, show me, tell me what are my talents, you know. But as I stepped into the things, I realized that, okay, I'm good with this, I'm good
Mm.
with that, I'm not good with this. When you realize that you can't do something, don't push it. Flow with the things that are very easy for you, you are happy with, even when you feel you still want to come back doing it. That is a gift, or that is a talent.
Oh, Lady Reb, I think we can keep talking and keep talking and keep talking. And actually, we're going to just, take you as one of our mentors and just love on you and just, I mean, we can't wait. I think in the new year, you should come again and come and once
Yay!
again, courage us for the new year. Gloria, yes, it's an amazing conversation. And thank you from the wisdom nuggets. Those are amazing. Those are amazing. And for those
Thank
of you who couldn't join early or you're joining later, make sure you're going back and listening to the things that we shared and imbibing them and making sure that you are believing yourself. Okay. And then the gifts that you have, don't belittle it. Just make sure that you use it. Step into it one day at a time. You will get there. So thank you all for joining. I see you. Sheila, I see you on YouTube. I see all of you who joined. And thank you again. Next week, we are having another amazing conversation, but this time we are giving back, right? We are giving back through our virtual fundraiser right here at this time. We'll all gather together. There'll be a Zoom link shared, and I want us to all come together because we have been privileged to have so much. We can give back a little bit just to help someone who is on his or her journey to get situated and continue. So, will you join me next week? We want to see you show up, encourage us as we launch our annual fundraiser and raise funds for our Fitting USA program that helps immigrants to know the things that they have available, including now we are adding one packet to it, the hair products, because a lot of us, we don't know what to do with our hair when we travel. And now we know what we can do. Okay. So thank you all. Thank you all for joining. Hi, Adelaide. You're coming in late, but you can go back and watch. Good to see you all. And we will see you again next week. Have a great, great evening, afternoon, depending on where you're joining us. And we'll talk again. Bye.